Music play is right. Fast forward is also right. And rewind is to the left. In our lives, we naturally assign attributes to left and right. Characters in all games run from left to right, right? The clock also turns clockwise. Even most of the texts and books we read are read from left to right. This may have something to do with the fact that most people are right-handed. Eating, writing, and using things are all done with the right hand. A world where the right is the right way. Why do humans live in the world on the right? And why do lefties exist? It has nothing to do with time and place, race and gender. Almost everyone on Earth was, and still is, right-handed. Of course, the detailed ratio is slightly different. The ratio of right-handers to left-handers is approximately 9-to-1, which is about 10% of the global left-handed average. In the case of Korea and Japan, it is even less than that, about 2-to-5%. And the country with the most left-handers is said to be the Netherlands with 13.2%. But, this is actually incredibly unusual. Except for humans, the only animals that are right-handed so far among vertebrates are apes close to us, such as gorillas and chimpanzees, and dolphins, which are known to be as smart as humans. In fact, if you look at the relics left by ancient humans from prehistoric times, most of them are for right-handed people, and even if you look at fossilized teeth, there are traces of holding meat with your right hand and tearing it off. Since Australopithecus appeared 5 million years ago and modern humans appeared 200,000 years ago, it means that even before the differentiation into a species called Homo sapiens, the left hand was not used well. So why are humans, apes, and dolphins the only ones with this bizarre trait? It is likely that this is due to the asymmetry between the left and right brain. Did you know that the right side of our body is influenced by the left brain and the left side by the right brain? In addition to this, the thinking areas in charge of the left and right hemispheres are also different. The left brain is generally in charge of perception of space, calculation judgment, language ability, and social skills, while the right brain is responsible for visual images, emotions, and intuitive judgment. The fundamental capacities that have placed humanity as the Lord of creation are concentrated in left brain functions, such as cooperation, logical thinking, and the use of language. I don't know if it's because my left brain has developed because I only use my right side, or if my left brain has developed so I can only use my right side. In any case, humanity has generally survived with the influence of the left brain, and civilization can also naturally be inferred that it must have been built based on the right hand. Eating is also for right-handed people. In the East, the rice bowl is on the left, the soup bowl is in the middle, and the spoon is on the right. In the West, the plate is in the middle, the fork on the left, and the knife and spoon on the right. For civilized people, writing is as important as eating, right? However, unlike at the table, the direction of writing is different for each civilization. At first glance, left to right writing seems more convenient for right-handed people, but there are characters that are still written from right to left, such as Arabic and Hebrew, and East Asian characters are traditionally written vertically, changing lines to the left. But did you know that in fact, all of these methods are designed to be comfortable for right-handed people? The Phoenician alphabet, the common ancestor of most alphabets on Earth, was written on a flat stone with a chisel on the left and a hammer on the right. Because of this, it was convenient to write from right to left, and that became the norm. That's why the Hebrew or Arabic script that inherited this tradition still maintains this direction. On the other hand, the Greeks changed the direction of writing after adopting the Phoenician alphabet. Because of that, the Roman alphabet and the Cyrillic alphabet, which were descendants of it, also had a tradition of writing from left to right. On the other hand, Chinese characters representing East Asian characters were originally written on long wooden sticks called chutkan. These sticks were tied with string, rolled up, and stored, called books. And when I was writing, I unraveled the curled book bit by bit, and as a result, writing vertically and changing lines to the left became the norm. In this way, in a world of right-handers, for right-handers, and by right-handers, left-handers, who account for about 10% of humanity, have been greatly discriminated against. One proof is that in almost every language on the planet, left means bad and right means good. The actual social treatment was, of course, severely discriminatory. In the era of ancient Greece and China, it was already emphasized that children should be taught to use their right hand from childhood. Later, in Hinduism and Islam, the use of the left hand was used for unsanitary work in the bathroom and the right hand was used for eating, and so on. In places where war was commonplace, such as in Europe or Mongolia, the left hand was also a symbol of betrayal and unhappiness. Everyone carried a weapon in their right hand, but when they met someone, they put down their weapon and shook hands with their right hand, thinking about this. This person has no intention of killing me. However, dealing with a left-handed person was a risk in itself, because if you met a left-handed person, you could be attacked with your left hand while shaking hands with your right hand. But these risks have allowed left-handed people to persevere despite thousands of years of discrimination. Left-handed people performed better than right-handed people when they didn't have to match others, when they didn't have to be predicted, and in duels. If you look at medieval European castles, the stairs to the tower are spiral. Most of them go clockwise. Because it had to be like this to have an advantage in defense. The attacking side going up from the bottom got in the way because the right hand was blocked by the pillar of the tower, but when the defending side attacking the bottom, there was no blocking, so it was free. But what if a left-hander is on the offensive side? You can swing your hands relatively freely while going up the stairs, right? Like this, all the strategies established for right-handers were useless in front of left-handers, so left-handers had to be given preferential treatment during wars and fights. It's not just siege warfare. Even in 1v1 fights or accidental clashes, lefties have an advantage. Left-handed people spend their entire lives practicing watching right-handed people who make up 90% of the world, but right-handed people have a hard time preparing countermeasures against left-handed people. In fact, studies have shown that societies that are more exposed to violence have a higher percentage of left-handed people. The Jula people of the famously peaceful Burkina Faso had a mere 3.4% left-handedness, while the Yanomami people of the famously brutal jungles of Venezuela had a whopping 22.6% left-handedness. It is said to show a figure that is more than twice the global human average. Even in today's dueling and ball sports, lefties excel very well. The sports world has the highest percentage of left-handed people among all fields of society. In fact, in the baseball world, there is a saying like this: a left-handed pitcher who throws a fast ball will be brought even if he is in hell. Not only in baseball, but in all sports with competitive elements such as fencing, table tennis, and tennis, left-handed people have an advantage, so unlike in everyday life, left-handed people are treated like nobles in sports. Like this, if the right hand is the hand of cooperation and community, I would like to think that the left hand is the hand of competition and individuality. In fact, there are many left-handed great people who are artists or soldiers, and it is known that there are many geniuses among left-handers. Perhaps the surviving left-handers are people who have fighter instincts that have been passed down millions of years. Being left-handed is uncomfortable. But lefties have an advantage over anyone in some cases. Even if he is at a disadvantage when cooperation is needed, he is a great joker in confrontation. The fact that the ratio of right-handers and left-handers around the world is 9-to-1 is probably because human life is made up of 90% cooperation and 10% competition. A minority, but a necessary 10% of left-handed people. It is also like a kind of Easter egg left by the laws of nature so that you should not lose tension at all times. If you liked today's video, please subscribe and like it, and I'll come back with a more fun and informative video. Either way, I am left-handed too. LOL. Thank you.